Hi, Karen Coy Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution Report. I haven't done this in a while, so I thought I'd start this week by exploring what's going on the outer planets before we look at the more personal planets that influence the energy of this week. The outer planets hold the plot outline, if you will, for the story of what we're living out on the planet in our daily lives. They set the stage for our personal growth and evolution and indicate what we are designed to be working on right now at this phase of our human evolution. When we look at the outer planets, we're primarily looking at Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, slower moving planets that give us collective themes of evolution. Right now, Jupiter is in the 26th, inviting us to explore to the depths of our capacity, our alignment with our authentic expression in the world, and promising us blessings and support when we live true to who we are, when we heal any trauma that we may have that makes us feel like it's not okay or safe for us to fully express ourselves into the world. We are in a cycle right now of deep healing. Anything, any event, any perception, any experience that may have caused you to disconnect from your authentic self so that you can realign back with that authentic self and express the truth of who you are out into the world. Saturn is in the gate 54. The energy of Saturn is an energy of education. It's also an energy of burning away the limitations or the dross or the old ideas that might be keeping you from allowing yourself to fulfill your full potential. With the 54, which can oftentimes bring with us the energy of divine inspiration, we're being invited by Saturn to move everything out of the way that might be jamming our frequency, so to speak, of our connection to Source and being attuned to divine ideas, right alignment with our divine place in the cosmic plan. So this combination between the 26, Jupiter in the 26 and Saturn in the 54 is giving us this extra push to burn away old thoughts, old ideas, burn away anything that causes you to disbelieve that you are a vital and powerful part of the cosmos, that you're here for a reason, and that you are designed to be fully supported and loved by the universe. That's a big piece, right? Let's keep rolling with that. Uranus is in the 27. The Uranus is always a place where you have growth and expansion. It's a place where there's unexpected twists and plot turns in the storyline. And those unexpected twists and plot lines can cause us to grow beyond what we think is possible. It's a cosmic rewriting of the plan we have in our head that brings us sort of into an initiation that maybe destabilizes the status quo, but does it for the intent of being serving as a catalyst for our growth and expansion. With Uranus in the 27, we're being given a very interesting perspective to explore our obligations and our sense of responsibility, and to really look at, are we committing to our obligations and responsibilities in an authentic way? Meaning, are you obligated and responsible for the things that are bringing you closer to the expression of who you are? Or have you allowed other people's obligations, other people's constraints, old beliefs, old values to tie you down and keep you from being the truth of who you are? Now, this energy of Uranus especially can also promise cataclysmic shakeups in old values that keep us all collectively stuck or trapped. So really a powerful time right now for us to begin to explore, or to continue to explore those places where old consciousness, patriarchy, for example, racism, cultural biases, classism, all these old value systems are subject to crumbling right now, subject to renewal, reevaluation, and rewriting, so that the things that we are obligated towards, the responsibilities and the values that we hold, are more true to the truth of who we are. And the truth of who we are is that we are all sourced in one mind, one heart. And when we bring ourselves closer to that authentic expression of our human self, our human story, then we bring ourselves closer to being ready to create a world of sustainable peace and sustainable resources for everyone. Neptune is in the 22, the energy of grace. Neptune is a place where we have our spiritual connection. It says when we stay in the right alignment with Source, we are given all the resources we need to bring the changes about that we are seeking to change and bring about in the world. In other words, when you trust Source, when you be authentic, you will get everything you need to play your role, your unique and irreplaceable role in the evolution of humanity. With Pluto in the 61, this is a place where we plug into higher source, where we see the bigger picture of what's going on. We're being invited by Pluto to really hold true to our right place in the cosmic order, to see the big picture, even if the day-to-day minutia feels heavy or traumatizing or sad. If you're opening up the newspaper and you're going, what the heck is going on? This Pluto energy says, look at the small details, notice them, but don't get bogged down in them. Instead, take a step back, see the big perspective. Things are being shaken up. The things that are out of alignment with the true nature of who we are being brought to our awareness, brought to our, up into our faces, where we have to look at them and do the consciousness work, the consciousness evolution, to align ourselves with a new set of values that are more equitable, more sustainable, more peaceful, more loving, more a reflection of the nature of the value of each and every one of us on the planet. So that's a big picture of what's going on. What does that mean for you personally? It means everything is subject to flux right now. We're in a deep, deep dive into who we are and really exploring, and we'll be doing this really until January of next year or February of next year, really exploring who are we in the context of our lives. Are we really living authentically? Is there anything going on in your life right now, any old pattern, old thoughts, old trauma that's keeping you from fully embracing the authentic expression of who you are? We talk so much in our culture about life purpose and being on purpose and being in your mission. I want to just remind you, and the planets are reminding you of this too, that your purpose isn't so much about what you do. Not that you should be doing just anything, you should be doing what brings you joy. Your purpose is to be the full expression of who you are. Your life, the expression of who you are through your life, is the art that you're here to create with your life. Don't get too tied up in what you should do. Instead, really explore, who should you be? What's the fullest, most juiciest, joyful, aligned expression of the story that you're living that you can implement right now? When you are living aligned with who you be, your life, your heart, your electromagnetic resonance field of your heart will pull into your experience things that match that quality of authentic alignment. And that, my friends, is the juice of a truly meaningful and abundant life. Everything else will fall into place if that piece is in place. So be who you came here to be. Then do what you came here to do, not the other way around. All right, let's talk about this week. This week, the sun starts in the 12, moving to the 15 towards the end of the week, and the earth is in the gate 11, moving to the 10 by the end of the week. And we have last night full moon in the gate 11. So we are really tuned in and connected to source and to ideas. And you may even find this week that you have a plethora of ideas. You have more ideas than you can possibly manifest in 1 week or even one lifetime, and that's okay. The purpose of this idea energy and this connection that we have, this electrical spark of being aligned with that divine inspiration that is source that we get this week, the purpose of that is to begin or to continue to explore the boundaries of what we're willing to allow ourselves to think as possible for ourselves. We are pushing the edges of possibility. We are pushing the edges of our creative power, and we are filled with lots and lots of ideas that are encouraging us to use the power of our imaginations to stimulate powerful emotional energy, to calibrate our hearts, to allow ourselves to attract into our lives greater and greater things. This is a really creative energy, a really juicy energy, a really inspired energy, and it's an energy that's up here, okay? It's an energy that's all about watching the power of your imagination create in your outer reality. What that means is that pay attention to those ideas this week. Write them down. Be a steward for those ideas, but don't go push them out into the world until you have, according to your correct energy alignment, that signal, that sign, that awareness of when is the right timing for you to share this idea with the world. If you don't wait, if you don't let the universe, your outer reality, give you the cues and the clues about right timing, and you run forward with your idea thinking this is yours to make manifest, what you really might find is that if you push against that timing, you'll burn yourself out, or you won't get the results that you're hoping for. So use this idea energy as a seminal energy to stimulate alignment, to stimulate emotional excitement, to stimulate your heart, and then let the universe tell you when the timing is right to take action. As we move towards the end of the week, we get in the sun, the gate 15, the energy of extremes, and we move into this energy and we carry it into the next week. This is the midway mark in our creative cycle that we're in. We're in a creative cycle, the summertime cycle, that is really about metaphorically tending to the garden of your creativity. If you have a garden, I have a garden, it's just really starting to get lush. The tomatoes are coming up. We've got our first squash blossoms and little baby squashes. You know, you go out there every day and you're plucking the weeds and you're checking to see, are there bugs out here? Do I need to spray some soap on the leaves? Do I need to fertilize? Do I need to water? This is where we are in our creative process for the year. We are exploring what do we need to do to enhance and grow what is growing in our lives. Where do we need to put our focus so that we can continue to increase the good that we've already created this year? And we do it with compassion. We do it with love. But, and this is just sort of a little red flag on the play, this energy can be the energy of extremes. This same energy that is the energy of compassion oftentimes stirs up compassion in us as a result of extreme events. Think about anytime we have a natural disaster in the world, right? We go in collectively with the Red Cross, to give food and just safety and shelter, hopefully, right? It's that same energy. So I do want to just be cautious, or remind you to be a little bit cautious that when this energy is at play, things can get extreme. Extreme events can happen, extreme earth events can happen. It's important when this energy happens, when these extreme events happen, that we recognize this is the universe stimulating us to approach life's circumstances with compassion and self-love, and ultimately, of course, love for others. To not slide into energy that involves blaming or victimhood or responding in a place that that holds us back from being the full expression of the heart of who we are. When we trust in abundance and we trust in the loving, abundant nature of the universe, and we act as agents of that universe, then we serve our unique role as agents of compassion in the world. And as this energy continues to express itself in the world, and we are in this cycle of what feels very intense and extreme and unstable, our unique role in expressing the truth of who we are, our authentic selves, is to also serve the cosmic plan as agents of compassion. Find those places where in your own life you can send love to yourself, or places in your life where you can then send love or take loving action towards others. So that's the week. Pay attention to your ideas, write them down, enjoy the power of your imagination, stay connected to source, stay connected to your heart, love each other, love yourselves, don't blame anybody, and have a great week. Have a really fabulous week. Take good care of yourselves.